welcome to Simply Sade. I decided to get my hair done, so we're gonna film a girl talk in the car in my favorite studio featuring Spicy. Say hello, Spicy, and say hello to Spicy. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, you should, because this is where I've been posting the earlier videos of this topic. So now I'm gonna come over to YouTube so that we can have our girl talk together. This is going to be the extended version other than the extended version from TikTok. So if you haven't seen it on TikTok yet, there's the shorter version. On YouTube will be the longer version. This video is going to be 5 ways to remain in our femininity. And the reason I came up with this video is because I've been seeing so many things that are essentially anti-feminism. Expecting women to be in a masculine state, expecting women to do the most, expecting women to be burnt out before receiving rest, receiving anything good. Expecting women to overgive, expecting women to neglect themselves in order to convenience everybody else. To me, that's anti-femininity, and that's not what I'm here for. So we're going to talk about 5 ways to remain in your femininity while living in such a hard world, a world that's essentially against femininity. And this might be an unpopular opinion, but anti-femininity is coming from multiple directions. It can come from past toxic relationship trauma. It can come from feminine men. Feminine men are men who don't provide, men who don't protect. It can come from the feminist movement, because as much as femininity is essential and needed, masculinity is just as essential. So both are needed. And once we as women nurture our femininity, maybe it'll bring about more masculine men, because there will be no more masculine women to pick from. Like, in an ideal situation, there will be no more masculine women for these feminine men to pick from. So they're going to have no other choice but to become more masculine. So let's get into the 5 ways to remain in our femininity while living in such a hard world. Number 1, looking into the scripture, Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path." One of the reasons why this scripture is so crucial for women to remain in our femininity is there are so many things competing and so many things distracting us and taking us out of our femininity. And one of those things being the stresses, the natural stresses of life. Natural stresses of finances, natural stresses that come with planning things in advance and wanting to make sure everything is going according to plan, according to purpose. That comes with a stress that can compete with a woman's femininity. And so once we put our full trust in the Lord, knowing that He has a plan for us, knowing that everything is working out for our good, knowing that He allows all things to work together for our good, it will give us a sense of rest, a sense of ease, knowing that the ball won't be dropped on us. Like, we're not going to be left hanging. We're not going to be neglected. We're not going to be abandoned in any shape or form. It does not mean that we won't experience seasons of difficulty, seasons of obstacles, seasons of waiting, seasons of challenge. But all of those things, the difficulty, the challenge, the waiting, all of those things are working for our good. So whatever good that you have desires that align with the Lord's will, all those things are working for that. Point number 2 is James 1:19. Let me read it. James 1:19 says, "Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry." There's nothing wrong with having big, passionate emotions. It's also important for us as women to know how to manage our emotions and know how to control our responses, because the better we manage our emotions, the more impact we have as women. To whereas someone would be expecting a specific reaction out of us that they just can't get. And that's because we've learned how to strengthen that discipline with managing our emotions, strengthen that discipline with responding instead of reacting, and letting things like fall off our shoulders, like being more unbothered, because some things really is not that serious. Especially when we're so focused on our purpose, we're so focused on the things that we need to get done, we're so focused on ourselves, focused on our priorities, focused on our family. Anything outside of that that's trying to get in the way of that has no business being minded by us. So we're not going to spend our emotions on that, especially if it's not going to return to us in some sort of value. It's not going to return monetarily, it's not going to return peace, it's not going to return joy. So us as women learning to be quicker to listen, slower to speak, and slower to get angry is a game changer for us all to remain in our femininity. Because it's like extremely hard to feel your girl a la self if you're angry. And there's nothing wrong with being angry if you're like provoked to anger, or anger is a healthy emotion. Let me say this. Anger is a healthy emotion because it notifies you of when a boundary has been crossed. So we can use anger to inform us more on the relationships we're in, to inform us on boundaries that we need to uphold to a higher standard. We can use anger for beneficial reasons. It's just when we start to act out on that anger and engage in anger that causes like high intensity actions, high cortisol actions, we get stressed out, our bodies get puffy. It's just too much for a woman to be dealing with. We're not supposed to be dealing with that type of stress. So if there's any stress in your life causing you to be angry, provoking you to anger, maybe take a look into it and see what can be done about that. Like, is that relationship worth being angry all the time? Is that friendship worth being angry all the time? Is that team worth being angry for all the time? Like, can you switch teams? My camera died, so I'm switching to my phone. So yeah, something's gotta give, but it cannot be our health, it cannot be our femininity. That's too expensive to be exchanging. Like, absolutely not. Point number 3 is for us to rest our mind from overthinking, rest our body from overworking, and rest our heart from overgiving. Like, women, we're very smart, we're highly analytical, we're highly strategic thinkers. It's just like we're piecing the puzzle of some things that just don't need to be pieced together. Like, everything is going to fall into place when it decides to fall into place, and there's nothing we can think our way into doing or think our way into piecing together ahead of the Lord piecing it together. So let's take a little step back on that overthinking, and for sure take a step back on overworking, because rest is essential, rest is crucial to our femininity, rest is productive. I know a lot of black women, we experience the narrative of rest being lazy, but if it's rest, it's not lazy. Lazy is not rest. Lazy is lazy, but it's not rest. There's a difference between folding of the arms one more time and rest. We as women, we need to be properly rested to be fully in our purpose and to even fulfill our purpose. And then resting our hearts from overgiving. Us women, we're expected to just do the most, give the most, and receive the least. But it's time for us to step into our receiving era. This is the era where we're receiving just because of our being. Like, us being women brings so much value to the world. It brings so much value to men. It just brings value in general, where it's time for us to be benefiting from our presence being given and shared with the world. Then point number 4 kind of leads and extends from point number 3, is for us women to be open to receiving and be an expectation that all of our needs will be met and all of the desires that align with the Lord's will for us will be fulfilled. So it's time for us to be in expectation to receive, in expectation that all things are working together for our good, and just be in expectation of living a beautiful life. Like, there's nothing, our lives should be enjoyed. Which leads me to point number 5, our last and final point, which is to add beauty into our life on a daily basis. Adding beauty into our appearance, adding beauty into our surroundings. Because we are women, and we as women, we're naturally beautiful. We are naturally beautiful beings. Everything about us is beautiful. We exude beauty, we express beauty, and people should be experiencing beauty every time they encounter us. Beauty on the outside, beauty on the inside, a beautiful tongue, beautiful every single thing from the head to the toes, inside and out. And that's something that's natural for us. We're naturally creative beings. We're naturally nurturing. We have all the skills, we have all the strengths naturally to curate beauty, to create beauty, and to multiply beauty. That's just what it is being a woman. So if you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and click the subscribe button so that we can grow our follower account to women who are interested in living life in style and purpose. So thank you again for tuning in to Simply Sade. I can't wait to talk